Five, four, three, two, one. And we're live.
Alright, welcome back everybody to another Aether's Workshop Starry Eyes, the podcast where you send in your animations so we can give you the tips and tricks to improve on your art. We actually have like a good little bit of work that was submitted in, but as always, I'm Sprite Star, and the co-host or running the channel is Wistream. So
Hello. Yeah.
Right.
Basically the creator of Olympia and Astro respectively.
Yep.
I believe they're like top 2 and 3 right now.
Yeah.
In Steam Workshop. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's getting up there. And it's been an honor the entire time. But enough of that. This podcast is about you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get this started with our first animation, which, if I remember correctly, is a bit of a walk cycle, maybe? Let me check.
Yeah. Like most of these are walk cycles today, you know? Okay, let's see.
Whoa, that's fast.
Yeah, it is
Why is it that fast? I don't know why that's that fast. It's on my end.
Wait.
The animation is like really speedy for some reason. I have no idea why.
Like it's really speedy on the stream.
Yeah, he's going places. I don't know why he's doing that. Because on our end it seems fine. Oh, that's weird.
I have absolutely no idea why it's being that fast.
Okay, so tell you what, it's probably something on like what my file is doing. So we're just gonna move over to the next animation. Let me see if I can try to fix this behind the scenes. But we will get back to this after I fix it. So
okay.
There we go. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So we got animation from Otto, I believe that's his name.
Yeah, it is Otto, made by Muno, the one who made
Tremolo
and
Alto.
Alto.
Yep.
You know, I'm surprised they submitted because they're really good at animation already. But
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't hurt to check it out. And yeah, so it's basically a bowling rack. Billiard rack.
Yeah.
Why am I saying bowling? It's a billiard rack being smacked with. Is this like forward strong? Yeah, it's forward strong.
It's a forward strong animation.
And right off the bat, I could tell this is great.
Yeah,
because of like the wind up is there. Like it's special. It's forward strong, so it's meant to be really strong, and the wind up just sells it. And then at the end, like how fast it whacks at the end, it's so good.
Yeah, it's a very strong animation. There's a lot of a tip that I would give for a lot of people, just to have as like a universal like tip, right? Is readability in your animations. Otto here has a fantastic way of doing so, because each part of the move is very strikingly different than the next. You can clearly see which is the keyframes in this animation, and it smooths into each other instead of being one snappy motion. The one thing that I would say about this is that the follow through might need an extra frame or so just to smooth it out, just a little bit. It's already a really great animation. I love like the antenna bobble, like that is a really good touch. This is a very strong animation. I'm not sure what else we could say to this because it's just a really strong like submission for me, at least.
And for me, it is as well. Like, what do you call this? it feels like every single advice that we've given so far just culminated into like this one. Because
Yeah.
like everything's just right. Like there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing um overly like noticeable right off the bat too. You got your follow through with like the antenna. You got your proper positioning with like the one leg just being still
Yeah.
as an anchor point. Um very obvious keyframes in between. And I just agree with Sprite Star here. It's just one like maybe one more frame for basically returning that rack
Yeah.
because it looks like it's you know a bit stiff over there, but that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like even the smears, it's perfect as it is.
Oh yeah, I love what you
So
did with the smear.
hmm I like those like tiny particles at the very end.
Yeah.
It's just so
But
all right.
yeah. Super solid animation. Thank you for submitting, but just you just need one frame. All right, back to the first submission. Weirdly enough, even though we got this submitted a certain way, when I downloaded it, it was moving at like
Mach speed.
like 0.01 a second. Like it was really weird. It was like way too fast. But we fixed it. Nothing a little A sprite can't fix. So, got ourselves a nice little walk animation. Honestly, this is one of those animations where what you see is exactly what you might need for the kind of animation that it is. It's just like a normal walking animation, just a nice little stroll. I guess the one thing that I would probably say for this is to try and give a little bit more life to like the shoulders, and just even like a little bit of like a turn or something that will help sell that this is a moving body. Like even when you're like walking normally, your like torso and your shoulders do have a very subtle twist to it when you walk. The only case where it's not moving naturally from one side to the other when you take a step is when you're trying to mask it, like say in marching band or something like that. This seems like a very casual walk, so maybe a little bit more just a very slight turn of the shoulders can help with this.
Or there's an alternate way too. Like if you are really trying to keep it that steady of a pose, you might as well have like the arms like, subtly bob up and down too. That would work just as well. Doesn't have to be, very prominent. It's just subtle.
Oh yeah. Also,
In any
there's one thing that I want to call out because I'm noticing it and I thought I wouldn't notice it. This falls under what I like to call pillow shade-itis. There's no form in where the shadows are lying within like the shirt and the pants and literally the rest of the sprite. It's just one flat image, and the goal of an artist, pixel artist or otherwise, is to give the illusion of shape and weight and all of that, and we do that with shadows. Right now the shadows are only on the edge of the outline of the body. Avoid that at all costs. Your animation is fine, you know what you're doing as far as like making sure that it looks like one foot is moving in front of the other. But pillow shading will tank an entire animation because it's just so blatantly obvious. It would be fine like 7 years ago or something, but not now. People will call that out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to like anti-alias here. but it's on the spots that basically makes it too smooth kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So maybe make sure you look into that if you're trying to anti-alias, like, just make it much more cleaner. Strong tip that you need to pretty much follow. Have a light source.
Yeah.
Your light
definitely.
source will help where your shadows point at.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I believe.
Otherwise, like,
I believe the light source in Rivals is like pretty much over the head, or a little bit to the left or the right. It's very slight tilt, but it's definitely overhead. Just keeping that in mind when you're laying these shadows down. And since this is a very like simple motion, it's not like there's not like arms and legs going every which way when you're running or anything like that. Like, this is pretty simple. Like, even though it's like pillow shading, this can be like easily fixed by just like getting rid of the shadows, replacing it with the flat color, which in this case would be like the dark gray and the pink, and just putting those shadows on those few frames that you need them, and then boom, there you go. You honestly don't need it for the face either. I'm actually like a really big fan of like the simplistic like face shading, so I think you're fine there. It's just the clothing. The clothing is where you need to focus on for that.
Yep. Pretty much everything that Sprite Star said.
Yeah.
I also would say.
But,
so yeah.
It's a very
Check your light source.
Yeah. Light source, a little bit of a shoulder movement. Don't get me wrong. This is a pretty nice animation. I'm not sure where you are in the stages of like pixel art, but you're doing a good job with this. Like, don't stress yourself out for that. You're doing good.
All right. Let's proceed to the next one.
All right. So let me double check. So I'm gonna fact check myself here, because last time that we had this character up, I said that it was Zeta's brother when in actuality it was her niece. So yeah. But
It was what?
That's not Zeta's brother, it's actually Zeta's niece.
Oh.
Yeah, I had set that wrong the last stream, so I wanted to fact check myself. But yeah,
Alright.
we got ourselves another Mega Man Zero combo. Sai,
Specifically, Omega Zero.
Oh yeah, Sai, you're really feeding into my interest here.
Alright.
Do you see anything wrong with this? Because I'm really trying to look past my preference.
Okay. First of all, it's basically really strong. If you guys don't know the reference of this is basically Omega Zero's slash combo from 03, I forget.
Mm-hmm.
No, or was it ZX? I forgot. But anyway, biases aside, even me, loving this animation. The first part of the slash, the hair doesn't move.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm. And this is a moving slash too, so it's kind of hard to tell where the error is. But you usually would like to have a single anchor point. My problem here is that a bit of the feet kind of changes sizes widely. Whenever you're like, Then again, it could be just bending the legs too.
Yeah, like it's not like a super major thing. It's not like the foot is growing like 5 sizes in one frame or anything like that. Like it's a slight growth, but yet there might be a reason on why that's doing it. This is
in this
one
case, I believe it's like an ankle thing.
Yeah, it's definitely like where the leg is bending for this. All in all, even with like the hair motion not being a thing just yet, which is just like doing a little bit of a in between work, not even in between work, just cleaning up the animation a little bit. Another super solid like animation, and I know we sing our praise, like we sing the praises for a lot of characters. We sing it for Otto, we sing it for Vil. Yeah, Zeta, like size creations is just, I just love the life within them, right? Like it's so unapologetically anime. It's so great. I love it. It just brought.
I just noticed they animated also the scarf.
Oh yeah.
That's how much detail they have on this. After
Yeah.
a few viewings, though, I noticed something off about the tail.
Oh yeah. There's a slight bit of like growth for like a single frame.
Oh no! It's not the growth. I mean, it's like, have you noticed like at one part at the start of the tail, it's just a square angle.
Oh yeah. I'm starting to see it now. I think that's
Yeah.
what I thought was the growth part. It just goes square and it turns tail and then it kind of goes back to a medium for some reason. Yeah, that's just a little bit of cleaning up on that. Like honestly, like the tail and the hair is like the only thing you should really worry about. Everything else, you know,
Yeah.
It's just Psy animation and it's just gonna look good like this.
Again, very strong animation. You could definitely tell like the keyframes here. Again, guys, focus on the keyframes first, then the timing.
Oh yeah.
Have the timing properly, then you could fill in the animation in between those frames.
Yeah, I will. Once the I don't know if I should be able to be spoiling this, but well, actually no. You've already done that for the colors, where have like little tutorials on how to do things for like Rivals modding and stuff like that. I would love to do one of just like animation workflow, and I would definitely like hark on the keyframing, because keyframing is really important. It's so important that after all of my years of experience with this, I can actually tell when people are just making frames to make frames. I can just see it. Half of that was because I did it when I first started out. Like it just makes sense when you're beginning, but yeah. That's on a later date. Still. Back to Zeta's niece. Super solid animation. I don't know her name just yet, but I'm quite sure on I'm quite sure on the
I don't
third.
think they gave it yet.
Yeah, I'm quite sure on the third stream we'll figure it out. But
All right.
all right,
Again, another solid animation. Let's proceed to the next one.
all right. Jaden's coming back, and before we actually give review on this, I won't. Wish and I is coming up with the conclusion that if you're trying to get critiques from us on animations that you fixed that we've given critiques on the stream, it would probably be best to just throw it into the Modern Critique channel and just letting us know then, because you're now waiting like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to finish one animation. But if you're waiting
it's
for our words, you're gonna hold yourself up.
And it's very subtle too. Like I get it if it's like you have made like a major change, right? There's like a major change, you did everything that you can, and then show it to us for like the podcast. But in this case, it's just very subtle.
Yeah, I think it's just mainly like the hair that just changed. Like there's slightly more balance to it.
But yeah, there is a reason for modding critique. It's not just us two who are the animators here in the like Aether's workshop. We also have Geek. We also got Arquitas. We got Chao Koban. Basically, the people you know who made like the best of characters in the workshop too.
Like, just
So like the,
you
the people who made Malo, Ash, Tromonalto, and all of those other characters.
Yeah,
That's wonderfully there.
you could even get the guy who made Bird Guy to review your stuff. That's an honor.
Yeah, like the person like amongst all of us, I'd say shoot, I forgot the name. The person who made Bird Guy, I'm so sorry if I forgot her name. But basically the person who made Bird Guy and Arkin
yeah,
is there too. There you go, I remember now. Gorami.
Yeah, Gorami.
You could get help from them too.
Yeah,
Just,
there's tons of talent. And the ones that'll they'll give you the right information. Yeah, they'll give you the right information. When someone gives you little information or no information at all, we will address that. Like, there's so many times where now we're just getting into the tangent part. Essentially, throw it into modern critique if you want to just get it on the spot. Like, that's what it's there for. Anyway, while we're here, still just like
actually critique
the
animation.
It's still kind of stiff, and I think it's just where you feel like you are in your skill level, where you just want to keep everything in a nice little contained box. But if it's a running animation, you gotta make it look like she's going places, because the hair is still stationary. Again,
like you make it bob left and right. You could make it like sway it a little bit. Right now it's still the problem of growing like vertically.
Yeah.
In one place, it's still there.
It illustrates the bounce, but it doesn't illustrate the motion.
Mm-hmm. And also the head is just bobbing up and down. In this case, it needs to be slightly forward. So you are running after all.
Yeah.
It's not just, still in the head. The rest of the animation, though, the body, it's perfect already.
Oh, yeah.
It's good enough. Yeah, but I see the smearing problem on the leg still.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you improved here. You just said, like, you did touch-ups with the hair and give her a head bob, and yeah, you can see that. It's still not enough.
Yeah, it's enough for a start, but if you're trying to aim for the kind of quality that you're probably wanting out of this animation, because this character is going to be an homage to a pretty big YouTuber, I'm quite sure you want to put your best foot forward.
An animator YouTuber too.
Oh yeah, definitely. An animator YouTube who hires other animators to help her. Like, there's a lot of layers of animation going on here. But it's all about putting your best foot forward, and that's what we call in the industry presentation. That, thankfully, you got people like us and literally everybody else in the Aether's workshop, the extended workshop server, that's willing to help and give feedback. So use your resources. But yeah,
the only thing we could point out here, again, you have your unnecessary smear growth on the legs. Your hair just grows like vertically. Your head bob is extremely stationary. Make it a little bit forward, because like the neck is like extremely straight.
Yeah.
Lean it a bit forward. The hair doesn't bob like that. Like, whenever you're running, it needs to move left and right whenever you're moving too. Like, I get you're trying to save time, you're trying to make it much more easier to yourself, but if you really want to have a really good homage to Jaden, make it move.
Yeah.
Don't make it just stay in place. And if you need to expand your canvas, if you're very restricted to a small one, do not be afraid to expand your canvas. Alright?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I could say here.
Yeah.
And some of these, I think we did say on the last one.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's one thing to say the things that I think some people learn visually. Like, I definitely learn visually. I gotta sketch stuff out before I can even get an idea on what's going on in my head. But yeah, that might be it. Which is also why the modding critique is good, because I know I'm gonna come up with like little diagrams and sketches and stuff to help visualize what I'm trying to say, because I'm bad with words. So yeah, like I said before, use your resources. We'll see you in the modding critique channel. All right, let's go over to our next submission, which is a newcomer.
Yep, a newcomer who's making Ash. I mean, recurring joke, but yeah.
It's the small Michael.
Yep.
Honestly, considering you got a lot of things going on with just how you're tackling this. First of all, like sprite size. I know Little Mac is little, but this is still a character from a video game that is like way bigger than Rivals of Aether as far as size wise. I'll say right now, you're actually doing a really good job with preserving the
Yeah, you disconnected for a bit.
Oh boy.
Or I disconnected.
Nah, it's probably me.
We're good now, though.
We're good.
Yep, we're good now.
You're preserving details. That's a really nice touch. Most people don't think about that. One thing that I know is my favorite is the hair bob. I'm quite sure that's unnecessary as hell, but man, does it look good. Like, that's a really good... This is
why, like, the tiny bit details makes it much more smoother and nicer.
Oh yeah.
You got the movement down. You got the animation down.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of details though I'm gonna see for this one. How about you throw your dime into it first, Scar?
I think what I would say first is that the leg that's the anchor of the whole movement, like the one that isn't moving that much, legs don't bend that way. It's like bending out, like the knee is bending out in like this weird fashion, which I can see why you went from that, but that would be easily rectified if you like turned the foot a little bit, like turned it inward instead of trying to bend the leg back. Also saw in the chat that the shorts is extremely stationary considering the movement. I definitely agree in that.
Yep, you gotta move these shorts, man.
Yeah,
you gotta move it.
Even if it's a little bit, if the thigh is moving, the shorts gotta move with it. Right now we're getting a case of the shorts is just like sliding down, or like the legs are shrinking in order to compensate. Like that's what I'm reading out of this. And
like, it looks painful that you're bending the leg that way.
Yeah. But that's just like maintaining forms and things like that. When you're going back to fix these, and I hope you're using something with layers, make a new layer over it and just like draw little lines that works like hinges where the thigh and the lower shin would be, and just try to keep that consistent. There's nothing wrong with doing like sketches over your work or under your work to make sure that the idea is clear, you know, not weird when you start animating it. Because when you get to animating and get to this stage where you're like trying to get these animations out, you're gonna want to cut corners, and that's when it starts to falter. What about you, Wish? What are you pointing out?
Okay, I'm gonna point out a lot here. First of all, arm size, right arm size. That looks like a bent pipe. It looks like a bent pipe. arms don't work that way. Check the size. Like, appreciate that you're getting the movement right, but the arm just doesn't look like that. It doesn't. It's noticeably like a bent pipe.
Yeah.
So maybe try to check the anatomy on your right arm there. Pretty good though. Another thing, your forearm is like the forearm of your right arm is just growing.
Oh yeah.
It's just growing.
You're moving the top pixels and you're moving the boxing gloves, but you're not moving the lower part of the arm. So it just looks like the arm is losing mass instead of maintaining it.
Another thing, shading. Inconsistent shading.
I
get it that you did it properly on the shorts, but why is the boxing gloves like that? Right? Your shading is clearly on the top, right? And you got the depth right as well with the shading of the left arm and the left leg on the back, but it's not reflecting right on the front thigh of the right leg, and on the front thigh of the left leg, and then same with the boxing gloves. And in the back, I noticed this like just pillow shading right there. So try and see if you could get like a consistent lighting from the top. All right.
Yeah.
And then there's also like obviously the arm too. You gotta check up your anatomy of that one. Maybe adjust a few pixels here and there. I know it's gonna be hard for you. Like if you're starting out, it's gonna be hard for you to find that proper pixel. But I can't really help you out here on the podcast at the moment. Like I would normally like just draw over the sprite to help you out, but on our current setup, I hope that we could do it in the future, but on our current setup, I can't really help you out and point out like the specific way to fix it. Another thing I noticed is the black underneath the arm. Right?
Oh yeah.
There should be a shirt there, but there's just a lot of black there instead.
Yeah.
So, maybe it could be shading instead. Like you shade like the top torso a bit down there, or you could just not have it shaded at all. It doesn't matter because it's already black already, or like rather dark gray than black.
Yeah.
But otherwise, amongst every animator I've seen so far who tried to submit it here, you have a really strong animation. I love that.
Yeah. Again, just like on the person who submitted the Jaden animation, use your resources. Talk to us in modding critique. Like we can do these things on the podcast. We can show off your work and talk about them on the spot, but that takes a week, and you're probably not gonna want to wait a week when you're working on these. So just drop in modding critique. It's okay to like DM, like not DM me. It's all right to like ping me, right? I'll yell at you later, but I'm here to help you fix this animation first before I do that. But yeah, just ask us or ask any of the other creators in there as well. We're always happy to help. But all in all, still a great animation.
Yep, a really strong animation. It's really great. Just needs a few tweaks here and there, and it'll be great.
Yep.
It'll be better, not great. It's already great.
Yeah. Like I said before, see you in modding critique. All right.
Next one. Oh boy, I'm gonna love this.
It seems to be made by the person who made the other character from the last podcast, doesn't it? Like it has like a very similar style to it.
Hold on. Yeah, it is from the same person.
Wow, are you working on two characters? You better not be working on two characters. That's a lie.
Yeah, that sounds like suicide. Like, unless you could definitely, like, confidently manage two characters, go ahead.
Oh
like,
yeah, if you got
I'm doing right now.
If you got the willpower to do it, do it. Don't let us stop you. But like, we're a little bit of reason. From what we can tell, even with that, you either have improved a lot or you're sandbagging us with the last animation, because my goodness, is this a lot better.
Yeah, it is a lot better. Like, significantly better. Like, surprisingly better. And this is one of those animations that I love because it uses the subtle things that we've been mentioning X amount of podcasts a while ago, and is just doing it right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll start off with this one. The first thing I notice is the blade, right? It's a steady thing. I don't think that needs to move like that unless you could make it angle properly, because right now it looks like it's folding, like wobbling, unless it's actually a wobbly sword or a wobbly knife. The left knife seems to be bending unnecessarily. Right? You got the right knife working just fine, exactly as it is. Look at that. It's like stationary. The left knife is just not doing it right.
Yeah,
and if you need to make it like fold, right, make sure that you move the blade downwards, like as if you're twisting the wrist of the left one.
Yeah. I think what might be like the intended outcome for this is that like the blade is tilting upwards slightly in like a bit of a perspective move. But the thing about that is it's not much of like, the hand's not even moving to illustrate it. It's still like that same shape while the rest of the knife is moving, which makes it look wobbly. Again, the easiest fix to this would be to just make the knife stationary.
Or you could just move a few frames of the knife down into the hand, so it looks like it's twisting the wrist.
Yeah.
Too.
There's a good little.
So like even when you're walking like that, your wrist will twist because you're holding something more than like the weight of your hand.
Yeah.
So it's gonna move regardless. All right, how about you, Spar? What do you got on this one?
Maybe I'm just like not sure of what the character's like. Not sure what the character's like design is. And it's not even like a animation thing, because how the torso is moving is, I think it's pretty fine for what it is. It's just like a walk cycle. I personally would probably want a little bit more black where the sleeves are to like help show where the body is on it, instead of it kind of it visually. If I like squint my eyes a little bit, the blues kind of like blend in the shirt. I understand why you would go with that line of process, because it makes sense, but again, this is a readability thing. But the point that I wanted to bring up is I'm not sure what those white details are. I don't know if this like detailing.
It might be either clouds or ice. Like I've seen them before in like the main Discord, right? I've seen them before in the main Discord. They look to be either ice or clouds. I'm not terribly sure about that, but like it does. I think it is a
It's like
it
a design on the shirt.
Yeah, it's like an ice jacket kind of thing.
Well, even then, that's not even like that's not an animation critique. That's more so like a character design critique. And even then, like, it makes sense. I don't know. There's not enough black on where the shirt / jacket is to help me visually see what's going on there. Excuse me. It's a little late over here on my end. I don't really see much else. Like, you got the legs. The legs look great. The tail motion, fantastic. I'm not even gonna be like, oh, turn the head a little bit, because I think the head's fine where it is. It's consistent.
That's the thing. Okay, here's one more thing I would like to point out. Right? Neck.
Oh yeah,
The neck.
there's very little
The
neck
neck
motion
is
going
growing.
on in it. It's not even like
Yeah,
the
like the
lack
neck-
of motion. It's just that it's going down a little too far, and it's like the shirt is covering up the neck when it shouldn't be.
Well, I could see how the shirt could make it like cover up the neck. In this case, make sure that the black goes over the shoulders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it looks like it's trying to connect from the neck, and like the shoulders like suddenly become part of the neck kind of thing.
Oh
Again,
yeah.
this is much more readability kind of thing. But yeah, if you want it to have the shoulders, right, cover part of the neck, make sure that you go all the way, make that curve at the end of the shoulders, then like, you know, cut it midway because it looks like it's part of the neck already.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like if you really need a guide, if there is like some kind of sharp or detachment, put black there instead of a dark blue. The only put a dark blue there if it's like some kind of like a shirt fold, or like it's something attached but you need a clear line of distinction right there. If, for example, like the belt part, I could see you made like a clear distinction there, right? But in this case, it's just like the arms are not part of the shirt, or rather like like basically the arm part, right? It connects through the shoulders. The arms should be black instead of dark blue.
Mm-hmm.
They're not connected, they're not folding, unless it's a cape. Then I could understand that you could see you'd use that as a you use dark blue instead of a black.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, it's pretty much readability issue here for the dark blue
Yeah.
and the neck and the knife. But other than that, it's really solid.
Yeah.
From what I gathered yesterday, they did 5 tries on this walk cycle.
Ooh boy.
And, yeah, like after 5 redos, they submitted this, and it's great.
Yeah.
You've definitely done the work here. It shows. I love it.
Yeah, you've definitely gotten a fan out of one of us. a very vocal fan as well. So that's always great. Even then, on your 5th try, you pretty much nailed it. Like, God, you don't know how many times I had to like make animations for Olympia. Like, back air took a while to just get down. Aerials are hard sometimes. But yeah, right now it's just cleaning up lines, honestly. Like, you've done the bulk of the work, and boy was it a lot. Yeah, we commemorate you for this. Like, being able to like sit down and actually hammer at this. Most people would just give up after the 3rd. Like, it's like, screw it, I'm just gonna do something else for a little bit. But yeah, amazing job. Your work has definitely shown to give results. Just need that little extra push.
Yep.
All right.
I
Down
think we're
to
up the last one.
our last submission. Back to our favorite artillery crab. Now we have a, what is he? I think this was forward strong.
Hold on, let me double check on that.
Because I believe it is
Forward strong.
Yeah.
He locks his claws into the ground and fires towards the ground. Okay, and then from the last stream, most of the important leg stuff was made before the last stream, so I'm gonna still have some pretty bad legs. So we don't need to point out the legs on this one.
All right.
Because if he didn't mention that, I would have pointed out the legs too.
Oh yeah. And even then, like, the legs weren't as bad as last time. Like, Yeah, they're just not as bad.
Mhm.
Again, I think it's very important to tell, well, for me, to tell why I like artillery collapse animation so much. I will forever be a fan of showing your personality of a character through animation. Uh, Artillery Crab, all the little bits I've seen of him, has just been nothing but that, and that is what make your characters memorable, right? Just how they interact with just the environment they're around, and just doing the things that they do. Doing an amazing job with that. The one thing that I would probably point out for this is probably just like the motion of the hat, and even then it's just like exaggeration of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And
the only thing I could point out on this one is like basically why is the eyes clipping through the arms? But
yeah.
that is just like that's not important because if you clean this up, it's probably gone already.
Yeah, you're a smart boy. You know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's not much else I can. I didn't notice this last stream, but I'm noticing it now. You notice when like the cannon is about to fire and you can see like the like actual ammo protruding out of like the actual like thing. I don't know what to call that. Pipe, cannon, whatever those. It's a cartoony thing that I don't see a lot. And you did that on the up strong. You're doing this on the forward strong. Really, really nice like thing to use.
Yeah, it's a really nice touch.
Oh yeah.
Okay, small critique, only very small. Something you'll probably fix as you clean this up is the angle of the cannon is somehow wrong when you're aiming downwards. So like it suddenly changes angle the moment it starts to aim downward. Like the upward part of the cannon, right? The upward part of the cannon, it just looks like it's in the wrong angle. Preferably just the hole.
Yeah.
But other than that, you're probably gonna fix that anyway in cleanup.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the beauty about submitting animations like this, where it's bare bones, yeah, but that's the point. Like, I do animations like this as well. I'm quite sure Wish, Geek, Gamari, literally everybody that you might like, quote unquote, look up to in Rivals Workshop, we all do something similar to this. And that's calling out the issues in this stage is a lot easier than calling them out in like the finished state where you notice, in my case for Olympia, oh man, 3 frames of forward air grows like 5% and just stays that way because I just didn't pay attention. Like, you can fix problems like that very easily in this stage. And submitting animations like this and letting us like look at them and giving our like reaction and critiques on them helps you so much. I would actually encourage more people to send in like submissions like this because it's just easier for everybody at the end of the day. Like, it's easier for you to fix because you ain't gotta reshade everything. You're only gonna have to reshade you only gotta shade once, and shading is my least favorite part of doing pixel art, so that's a good thing. You can add frames if you need to. You can take away frames and don't feel bad about it. There's no downside to doing frames like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to know what's really good with doing animations like this? Keyframing, because it's really easy.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is something like a stage that I would preferably like to see more. But I think I know why it's rare. You want to know why?
Why is that?
basically a lot of experienced animators do this, and it's mostly the experienced animators. If you're new, you'd think you'd try to finish every frame first before you submit it.
Yeah.
Right? or you don't even have like a sketch phase. You just try to sprite it right away.
Yeah, you just go for it, which
Mhm.
I appreciate it. It does more harm than good. It just does more harm than good.
So that's why you prototype, like just like a character you make in the workshop. Animations need to be prototyped first. It needs to be sketched down. It needs to be, you don't just finish a frame right away. Just make sure that everything is solid before you finish the entire thing.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
in this case, this stage is much appreciated than we'd like to see. Even if it's black and white, even if it's an outline, even if it's a sketch. Okay, maybe not so much of a sketch, right? Because it's messy.
Yeah. Like,
but yeah.
A little bit before we like end the stream or anything. Just telling about my workflow on this. I do outlines. I like outlines. All of Olympia's stuff before I even like got it to like doing in-betweens or anything, I just focus on the outlines for that because it just feels natural for me. I'm quite sure Wish has a different way of doing it. I
Yes,
know
I do.
I know Geek has a way different way of doing it because if I remember correctly,
I think Geek is more similar like this one.
Yeah.
Right.
But for what I can tell with the stuff that I've seen from Geek, is a lot of like layers and segmentation going on, which is way out of my jurisdiction. I don't know how to do any of that. I'm stubborn as they come when it comes to animation. I draw it by hand.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, Spar. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I work with layers too, but the thing is, it's not this kind. Like, I noticed that, like, this kind of animation, I'm not sure where people kind of learned it.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's different colors. Maybe it's like a format that a lot of people have seen on modern critique lately. Like, I've noticed that. Like, it's a lot of animations like this look like in modern critique. And mine is like, okay, I just get the base colors in. It's even different parts, but it's just the base colors. And funny thing, right? Like, most characters I design actually have those segments already, so I don't have to do it like that.
Yeah.
It comes into the readability of a character too. It's like, for example, Italis has this large icicle fists. That's why. It's for the readability too.
Yeah. But
anyway.
Yeah, tangent aside. Honestly, there's not really much else I can say. I could probably say something about how the arms are moving, but within this stage of animation, like when you're this stage of making pixel art, it's just doing in-betweens. Like, what you're seeing right now with the arms is literally the definition of keyframing. It's the most exaggerated part, well, not most exaggerated, the most different pose between one frame to another, and in-betweens smooths that out in between them, which is why they're called in-betweens. Yeah, it's honestly, I could say smooth it out, but you're gonna do that anyway, so I'm just gonna end it with, I like these keyframes. They're extremely strong.
It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Like, yeah, this is basically the definition of keyframes. Like, you notice the entire body? Like, the rest of the body, it's just keyframes. And this is why keyframes are important, right? This is why keyframes are important, because, see, it looks smooth. Yeah. Because, one, they got the keyframes right. Two, they got the timing right. And this is why you do keyframing, guys.
Yeah.
This is why. Even the most stiffest of animation could look smooth if you got the timing and keyframes right. It's not about making a single frame of animation every time. Heck, there's even animation term for animating by twos and animating by threes, which is 2 frames apart and 3 frames apart.
This went from this went from, hey, can we find everything that's wrong with this animation, to let's just give a quick animation lesson while using this as like a textbook example. Like, this is like actually really like eye-opening. And I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's great. Like, this is why sometimes like you try and send in like good animations already, or you know, like strong animations too, because 1, it's a good example. 2, it just shows where your strengths lie too.
oh yeah.
And sometimes even like the best of animations could have the smallest errors that could get pointed out. Like example, the last one. The last one is an example of a great animation but needs some work.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be afraid to submit full animations, but we'd appreciate also to see your work in progress animations just like this.
Because workflow and getting used to how you're making sprites is just as important as the finished product. You need to take like a 3-day nap from your work. Yeah, we take all submissions, but I think Wish and I can agree on that submitting them in this stage can help call out issues and things you might think is there, and we could like take a look at it and be able to on the spot tell you what it is, instead of trying to like break down how many in-betweens you got before a keyframe and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as artillery crap, just good. It's just really good. I think we spent a little too long on this, but considering all the information and tips and stuff that we've given out just for artillery crap in general and just animation in general, I think it's like extremely worth it.
Yeah, it is very much worth it.
Yep.
Anyway, I think we should end the episode from here. It's
yeah.
already starting to get an hour in.
Oh yeah.
Just like an old episode, but
Yeah.
hey, if it's useful, well, I'm willing to go that far.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of stuff going on for you. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining Starry Eyes at Aether Workshop podcast. Be sure to send in your submissions both to the
Modding critique.
Yep, modding critique, and then in the animation experts channel. But yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
And here's a tip before we leave. If you're very new to animating sprites like this, do not be afraid to ask in modding critique on how the workflow goes for a lot of the animators in modding critique, because like if you know their workflow, it could help you very much both on speed and learning the thing you want to do better. All right, so that's pretty much it. Remember to shine your way and reach your dreams. Keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple.
Peace out, everybody.